जय गुरु जी महाराज। जय गुरु जी साध संगत जी। शुक्राना गुरु जी महाराज मल्टीलिंगुअल सेवादार टीम आप सबका स्वागत करती है। आज एक बार फिर रितु सेठ आंटी जी आई हैं, संगत शेयरिंग करेंगी। सेशन मैनेज करने के लिए तनुज आंटी आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। प्लीज सेशन को आगे बढ़ाएं। ओवर टू यू तनुज आंटी। जय गुरु जी।
जय गुरु जी एंड थैंक यू वेरी मच सुरेश अंकल। प्यारे गुरु जी, आपको नमस्ते और आपके चरणों में सादर प्रणाम। आई हुई सभी संगत को प्यार भरी नमस्ते। आज गुरु जी की उस्तत सुनने का एक और सुनहरी मौका हमें मिला है। इसके लिए सबसे पहले तो गुरु जी महाराज का बेअंत शुक्राना, क्योंकि ये सब महाराज की ही प्लानिंग होती है। कौन किस दिन संगत शेयरिंग करेगा और कौन कौन प्रेम से सुनेंगे। और दूसरा, मल्टीलिंगुअल ग्रुप की इस निस्वार्थ सेवा के लिए भी बहुत शुक्राना। सुरेश अंकल जी एंड हिज टीम बहुत प्यार और भावपूर्ण ढंग से गुरु जी की ब्लेसिंग्स को वर्ल्ड वाइड संगत तक पहुंचा रहे हैं। बहुत अच्छी सेवा है महाराज की। सुरेश अंकल, आपको और भी एनर्जी गुरु महाराज दें और भी ब्लेसिंग्स गुरु महाराज दें। संगत जी, जैसा सुरेश अंकल ने कहा, आज रितु सेठ आंटी जी आई हैं और वो गुरुजी के साथ उनकी जो जर्नी रही है और महाराज की बेअंत ब्लेसिंग्स हमारे साथ साझी करेंगी। आई हैव नोन रितु आंटी पर्सनली फॉर मेनी इयर्स। अर्ली 80s में हम दोनों जलंधर में रहते थे और गुरुजी के, जैसे कहते हैं ना, ऑन द राइट एंड लेफ्ट। बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली दैट टाइम we were not aware of Guruji's presence in Jalandhar. हम दोनों के हस्बैंड्स हेलीकॉप्टर पायलट थे और जलंधर में उनकी पोस्टिंग थी, तो इसी वजह से हम दोनों वहां थे। एंड सिंस देन Ritu aunties and my journey began as friends, and many years down the line we realized that both of us को हमने गुरुजी ने हम दोनों को अपने साथ भी अपने प्यार में जोड़ा हुआ है। Such a beautiful blessing this is, because जब हम पहले हम फ्रेंड्स थे, बट जब हम गुरुजी की संगत बन गए, वो प्यार दैट टुक अनदर एंगल एंड इट बिकम्स मैनी फोल्ड। सो आज ये जो है गुरुजी की जो आंटी के सत्संग हैं, गुरुजी की जो ब्लेसिंग्स हैं, मैंने बहुत बार आंटी के सत्संग सुने हैं, बट एवरी टाइम जब भी मैं सुनती हूँ, देयर इज अ डीपर मीनिंग टू इट एवरी टाइम, एंड दैट इज बिकॉज ये ब्लेसिंग भी गुरु महाराज की है। As our journey grows and as our bond with Guruji grows, our understanding of his blessings also becomes more meaningful and much deeper. We begin to realize, away from just the miracles and the blessings, कि गुरु महाराज क्या सिखाना चाहते हैं. And what I have known is Guruji has showered Ritu aunty and her family with a lot of guidance and lot of love. हर समय, हर चैलेंजिंग समय में महाराज ने आंटी का हाथ थामा और अभी तक थामा हुआ है। एंड हर ब्लेसिंग्स एंड हर सत्संग्स आर वेरी इंस्पायरिंग, सभी के लिए, स्पेशली न्यू संगत के लिए प्रेरणादायक हैं। सो नाउ रितु आंटी, आइए, प्लीज टेक ओवर एंड शेयर योर ब्लेसिंग्स एंड जर्नी विद गुरु महाराज।
जय गुरु जी। गुरु जी के चरणों में प्यार भरा नमस्ते, साष्टांग प्रणाम। संगत जी को बहुत प्यारा नमस्ते एंड लॉट्स ऑफ लव टू यू तनुज आंटी। It's years and years, lots of love to you, and I'm so happy to hear you. Guruji bless you. Thank you. Special thank you to सुरेश अंकल, जिन्होंने बार बार मुझे sometimes we just shy away, but Suresh uncle carried on in complete persuasion and ensured that I am sitting here today. Thank you, Suresh uncle. Thank you, Pyari Pyari multilingual team. जैसे तनुज आंटी ने बोला, इट्स अ बहुत सुंदर सेवा। थैंक यू, ये जो आपने मुझे सेवा दी है। Forgive all the mistakes that I make, which are always in plenty. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you. I hope whatever I speak, it gives, like, we hear satsangs and it always helps us. Guruji used to say na, jeda satsang karda hai te jeda sunda hai, doਹਾਂ da kalyan hunda hai. I hope it's good. Thank you, Guruji. Guruji had called me to him in 2005. And like Tanuj Aunty said, way back in 82, 83, when Guruji was in Defense Colony, house number 300, I think. We were living in 298 or 299, I don't clearly remember, but one of the two houses. And that time, my husband, Captain Ashok, said, one day he comes and he tells me, he says, Ederek, because one day, I mean, like he being a Fauji, so how he referred, he said, Ederek Guruji andene, kendene, cycle te andene, shorts paake. So he just mentioned this in the passe. Te apa dhyan nahi dita, and we carried on with our life. Then in 2005, Guruji called me to him. It was March 4th or 5th. A dear friend of my husband, Neeraj Bhatia, his wife, she told me, she said, come with me to my, they had come home and she said, why don't you come with me to my Guruji tomorrow? I told her, I said, since Pakistan days, we have been going to Babalal Dayalji, and that's where we go. She said, nahi, you come with me. मैं क्या ठीक है. So when she was leaving around 11:30 at night, she said, see you tomorrow. So I looked at my watch, it was already 11:30, and she said, I'll come and pick you up around 6:45. So I was just wondering, I said, at 11:30 baje she's leaving the house, the 6:45 she'll come to pick me up. So just when she was getting into her car, I said, see you tomorrow in the morning. She said, morning? Morning thodi avangi. I just looked at her flummox because apate guruwada jaida hai swere swere. So she said, I'll come and pick you up in the evening. I kept quiet. I said, okay. And next evening she came in the evening, and my husband, he called, he was flying in Srinagar. And see the irony, my husband used to fly a lot of the Amarnath sector as well. Okay? And uh, there, as we all know, baraf ka shivling itna sundar banta hai. So he was flying there, and his call came around 6:30. He said, "Ki ho raha hai?" I said, "I'm going with Olga to her Guruji." So he said, Fauji style, he told me, he said, Tanuj Aunty has met Ashok very well. Then Captain Ashok said, and as helicopter pilots, they also retire again as captains. So he said, Ashok said, "Koi time hai Guruvada janda, get yourself back." He used very Fauji style language and told me, come back home on time. मैं कहा जी ठीक है. So the tension had already built up. So Olga came, and we went to Empire Estate. So she parked her car outside, and Appa, we got down. Sangat ji, बाहर तक इतनी खुशबू थी, and we being Fauji's, like every time a chief or a senior officer comes, we spray the whole place up. We put so much of perfume, and those air fresheners. So I just thought in my mind, I never told her, but I was just thinking in my mind. I said, "Anna ne te bahar tak air freshener, they have, because there was such a strong smell of roses, and we were parking near a road, cemented road, so that there were no roses there." So I just thought, I said, इन्होंने तो बाहर तक spray मार दिया, wow. And we went in. As soon as we went in, Guruji was sitting alti palti on a sideboard. sideboard we call, because हमारे को like we used to get MES furniture, तो वो sideboard ही कहलाता था. And he was sitting wearing like Punjabi drain pipes, नहीं होती, black drain pipes, and a floral bush shirt. And he is so young, so dynamic. His aura was extraordinary. And my friend, she said, she put her hand out like this, towards Guruji, and she said, meet my Guruji. She said like this, meet my Guruji. And I just mumbled, looked at her, and I, looked at him, because we are used to seeing gurus in, white cholas, pura tripond mark and all that, and in a very different style. I've never seen Guruji like this. Obviously, at the baad jaake samajh aaya that he's Rasak Vairagi Guru. Now, I just looked at and I just mumbled, I said, he's so young looking. That is the thought that came in my mind. And suddenly, Guruji te Jani Jan, Rab, Ishwar. And he just looked up, and Sangatji, Ete Shiv ne, Mahadev ne, he's all the energies, all the lords, gods rolled into one. And he just, when he looked up at me, Sangatji, jaise hota na teere andaz, I was left spellbound. I was left very shaken up, because I felt as if he knows all my secrets. Pura aar paar mera MRI scan sab ho gaya, and there is nothing to hide from him. I was so uncomfortable. So he waved a hand like this and indicating that Olga can take me inside. So like this, when he did this, and then she took me in, and there's beautiful Singhasan there, and very, very few people were there. And there I saw like a lot of VVIPs sitting there, and we went and sat on the side, on the right side. Guruji's Singhasan in the center, on the right side when he faced his Singhasan. And we sat, as soon as we sat, Gupta uncle, he brought chai. Now, later on, I got to know he was Gupta uncle, much, much later. Guruji bhi te jad time hunda hai, jad sanu load hundi hai, sakht, he takes us so solidly into his fold. He brought, aise chote chote shishe ke glass mein, he brought chai. Fauji's wife, I just refused. It was around 7:30, 7:45. Oh, exactly cha the time to see nahi. And I just said, no, thank you. Olga, she said, this is prasad. So when she said prasad, I had it. Fauji style niche maine thodi si chhod di. She said, finish it. I finished it. Immediately he came again. Uncle came again with another chai ki pyali. I said, no, thank you. And Sangatji, then Om Namah Shivaya started playing, and Guruji came wearing very beautiful robes. Very beautiful robes. He came, and he was literally like, when he came in, he wasn't like a normal, the impression I got, like that he is not walking like the way we walk. He was literally like, walking in air types. And those robes were extraordinary. So when I was a child, my father is also Fauji, 2nd 9 Gorkhas, and in his regiment, Gogia Pasha, the world-renowned magician, if you see, his name is there in the Guinness Book of World Record. तो मेरे मन में इस तरह ही बस आया, ख्याल आया, मैंने कहा ऐसे he is looking like Gogia Pasha, because Gogia Pasha used to wear robes like this. I said, अरे he is looking like Gogia Pasha, ऐसे पूरी दुनिया को ही हिला देंगे. This thought came, Sangaji, in my mind, ये तो पूरी दुनिया को हिला देंगे. How shallow are we? He is Rab. वो तो सबकी, हम सबकी किस्मत ही बदलने आए थे, हम सबको रास्ता दिखाने आए, हम सबको, हमारी जिंदगी संवारने आए थे. He has come to change the world, and look at how all over the world today every place, every nook and corner in the world, everybody, everywhere, Guruji's mandirs are being set. And there's such a divine, and people are not, because ਇੱਥੇ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਵੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੁੜੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਇਜ਼ ਰੱਬ, ਹੀ ਇਜ਼ ਈਸ਼ਵਰ. So he just Om Namah Shivaya, I immediately linked because like when I was just about 13 years of age, I had started doing Monday fast, and we used to run up to Shankaracharya. My father was posted in Srinagar, so every Monday morning we used to run to Shankaracharya, and then we used to go to our school. And then he came, and Sangatji, when he came, and he my friend Olga, she took me to him, and she said, Guruji, hai meri saheli hai. And Guruji said, na ki hai? Main kya, Ritu. He said, Ritu kaun? Cheti bol. Ritu kaun? Cheti bol. Main kya, Ritu Seth. Then I babbled off, daughter of Colonel Roshanlal, wife of Colonel Ashok Seth, and daughter-in-law, because my father-in-law is also Fauji. So then he just asked me one question. He said, Bacche. So I said, Guruji, ek munda hai. He didn't say na kiya or anything. I said, ek munda hai. He said, ki karda hai? Main kya, he's working in Dubai. He just told me, he said, Guruji, amazing. He said, munde da vyah kar te ash kar. These were his words to me. Munde da vyah kar te ash kar. After that, he just pointed his hand like this for me to go and have langar prasad. And I had never seen Raghurai ji. Raghurai sitting there wearing a red cape with his cameras on a cushion. So we went and I sat with him, and a thal came wherein 4 of us were sitting together. And I went on to becoming a senior officer's wife very early in life. ਤੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਬਹਿ ਕੇ ਇੰਜ ਤੇ ਲੰਗਰ ਕਦੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ. ਕੋਈ ਅਕਲ ਤੇ ਸੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਰੱਬ ਦੀ ਦਰਗਾਹ 'ਚ ਬੈਠੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਰੱਬ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਰੋਟੀ ਖਵਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ. ਤੇ ਸ਼ੁਕਰ ਕਰਕੇ ਬਸ मतलब सिर्फ शुक्र करो, ऐसा तो कुछ भी नहीं आया. I went and I sat there, and Raghurai ji, he put roti prasad ke aise na, like he gave us roti prasad, laddu prasad, and Guruji te khwa rahe si. My tension was on already full, that because my husband had called from Srinagar and said, get yourself back home. He didn't use such polite words. So he had told me to get home fast. So I told Olga, I said, let's go. Ovi, she says, when you go to the army chief's house, don't you thank him after you eat a meal? I said, we went out, washed our hands, and then stood in line to say thank you to Guruji. And Guruji Maharaj, सारे साष्टांग प्रणाम करके बहुत थोड़ी सी संगत जी, very few people were there, साष्टांग प्रणाम कर रहे. And when my turn came, I just looked at him, Sangat ji, and I just thought in my mind, because our concept and idea of Gurus is very different. And I just thought in my mind, he's so young looking, I will not touch his feet. Matlab socho, how naive could I be and how stupid could I be? Guruji te Rab hai, Ishwar hai. Before he knew, there was one uncle before me who was doing Shashtang Pranam. I was standing behind that man. And when behind that Sangat. And Guruji, he touched Guruji's feet. When my turn came, when that gentleman was standing up only, that Guruji put his feet under his chola. So I was very relieved, and I joined my hands, bowed, and said, thank you so much. And he looked at me, and I left. Sangat ji, that was a Sunday night. And when I had sat there, ते मेरे मन में ना 2-3 दिन पहले my son had rung up and he said, माँ मेरे जूते घिस गए, and some work of his was not happening. So he said some work was stuck somewhere. So Sangaji, I just thought, he said, when I was sitting and having chat prasad, how, I mean, like, look at our thought process. I just thought, I said, if you have some power, you will make, ये आप मेरे बेटे का काम करवा, मदर सबसे पहले सोचती बच्चे के बारे में है. एंड आई हैड जस्ट थॉट कि आप उसका, बिकॉज ही हैड सेड मेरे जूते घिस गए, मेरा काम नहीं हो रहा. सो आई जस्ट थॉट, एंड यू नो हाउ द, जैसे माँ का कलेजा होता है कि अरे मेरा बच्चा बाहर है और इसका कम नहीं हो रहा है, एंड वी आर नॉट यू नो सिविलियंस, फौजीज लाइफस्टाइल एंड आइडियाज आर सो डिफरेंट. सो दैट नाइट संगत जी, मतलब आई रीच्ड होम, my friend, she dropped me. She came up. We sat together for about 5-10 minutes, and she left. Olga left around 11:30, 11:30 at night. And after that, my son, he rings me up, and he said, "Ma, I don't know what happened, but the sheikh has rung me up and has called me to Palm Strip Mall at 12 o'clock your time. मेरा टाइम 12 बजे. I found that a little strange. I mean, I didn't even think of it. Strange क्या, मैं तो happy सी कि कम हो रहा उधर. संगत जी, 15 मिनट बाद दोबारा उधर फोन कहने मैं भाग रहा. And he about 15-20 minutes later, he rang up again and he said, Mom, I don't know what happened, but he asked me for nothing. He's just signed off all the papers. संगत जी देखो, रब दी दरगाह सी, सोचा भी क्या ते मंगया भी क्या कि इफ यू हैव एनी पावर्स प्लीज मेरे बेटे का काम करा देना. That night, Sangat ji, Guruji gave me darshan. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivji Sada Sahai, Om Namah Shivaya, Guruji Sada Sahai, Anand Shukrana Guruji. And he gave me, and he was in Chola. And I'm talking about 2005, March 4th or 5th. And he is telling me, आपके बेटे का नाम अखिल राज सेठ है. And there is a conversation that is happening. After that, he has had many conversations with me, but that was the first time he had. Second time, because first time he had that night when he gave me Langar Prasad. And he said, आपके बेटे का नाम अखिल राज सेठ है. And I'm telling him, जी हाँ, ये सब ड्रीम में हो रहा है. और ड्रीम में जब गुरुजी आके बात करते हैं, दर्शन देते हैं, तो उनके तो साक्षात दर्शन है ना. और वो तो चोले में थे, और सोचो एम्पायर स्टेट में थे, एंड आई वाज इन सैनिक फार्म्स. And he's telling me, then he gave a very special blessing which was meant for my son and for me, and therefore I will not like to speak about that. But the fact that he came and he knew my son's name, संगत जी, एते रब ने जन्मों दा साथ है इन्ना दा, जन्मों दा. देयर इज नो, आई कांट से कि कोई पुरानी संगत है, कोई न्यू. जब जब गुरुजी को लगा कि तब तब देखते हैं ना हम, आज की तो वी सी इन द मूवीज, वी सी दैट यू नो व्हेन लॉर्ड somebody's a bhakt is in real, you know, really needs him and calls out to God very strongly, he comes and he blesses. And Guruji to he's simply amazing. And so the journey started, and my son's job happened, and we went, my husband and I, he came on chutti, and we had gone to Srinagar, we had gone to Dubai, came back, and it was at the back of my mind that I need to go and thank him. So after my husband rejoined duty and my son was busy working, so I rang up my friend again and asked Olga, I said, I want to go with you to your Guruji and thank him. वो कहती है मैनू, आई एम सॉरी, सम फ्रेंड्स आर कमिंग फ्रॉम चेन्नई, यू विल हैव टू गो ऑन योर ओन. ते मैं क्या ठीक है. ते आई पिक्ड अप माय मारुति and zipped back to Empire Estate, went in to thank him. Sangaji, this time when I went in to thank him, so I wanted to touch his feet and say thank you to him. And Sangaji, ये तो रब ने, ईश्वर ने. Everything is He rolled into one. The complete Om is He. And his feet were in his chola. But when my turn came, because I wanted to thank him, so he put his feet out, and his feet are so beautiful, Sangati. So beautiful. So with the tip of my fingers, I touched his feet and I joined my hands and I said, thank you. I touched his feet with the tip of my fingers because मुझे लगा कि इनके पैर तो इतने सुंदर हैं कि वो मैले ना हो जाए. And I thanked him after touching his feet and came back home. Next day, in the morning when I wake up, मेरे को लगा जैसे कि बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग गुलाब की खुशबू आ रही है, बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग. So I went, washed my hands. फौजीज है कैंटीन तो we get Liril soap and Synthol soap and all. तो मैं हाथ धोते, फिर भी पूरा my house was giving beautiful fragrance. मैं सोचा कि बाहर जेडे गुलाब उग रहे ने, they are so far off, but I thought ये तो कमाल के गुलाब है, इनकी खुशबू तो अंदर तक आ रही है. It was like a perfume, very strong perfume. And I wasn't, like, then my mother, she called and she said, can I come and have coffee? मैं coffee पी नाश्ते आ रही है तेरे घर. मैं कहा जी ठीक है. And she came. As soon as she came, he said, मतलब सोचो कि रब के चरण छूने को मिले. जय गुरुजी, अनंतम शुक्राना गुरुजी, आपकी मेहर के लिए शुक्राना गुरुजी. And she came and she said, तूने बड़ा रूम फ्रेशनर छिड़का हुआ है. My mother told me. जैसे मैं तो कुछ भी नहीं छिड़किया, ना तो मैं परफ्यूम लाया है. And she said, एवी कॉफी पी के चली गई. 2 या 3 दिन के बाद फिर फोन आया, कॉफी फेंट दो फौजीज, वी बीट द कॉफी. फौजीज, शी इज ऑल्सो फौजीज वाइफ. फिर आ गई. तू बड़ा रूम फ्रेशनर छिड़किया है. मम्मी, आई हैवंट छिड़कोड एनी रूम फ्रेशनर, कुछ नहीं छिड़किया मैं. सो जस्ट फिर वो कॉफी पी के फिर चली गई. फिर as soon as she left, I rang up my friend and I told her, I said, a very strange thing has happened. She said, ki hoya? I said, I went to thank your Guruji, and this is how I spoke. Matlab, because one is such a fool, one doesn't even know what, all the time the errors we make. And Kendi Menu, I told her, I said, I touched his feet to say thank you. And तब तो मेरे courage इतनी खुशबू है that everybody is thinking कि मैंने बहुत सारा rose perfume छिड़का हुआ है. So she said, that is my guru's way of blessing you. She told me that. So I said, wow, that was so beautiful, Sangaji. That was so beautiful. Shukrana Guruji for all your blessings. Life went on, and Sangaji, I'll just, share some, so I was looking for a girl for my son to get married. And Sangaji, I was, I had lost my husband, so I was thinking, I said, Acha, all his friends, jo bhi bacche the, I would, and they were also contacting. Badi zoro shoro si, one was looking at service personals, girls. And Sangaji, देखो गुरुजी तो रब है. वो कहते हैं ना अपने भक्तों का, एंड शिव तो बहुत ही भोलेनाथ है. And he gave darshan and he said, a huge shivling he showed, and he said, ladki Punjab chi hai. And he gave ishara and he said, ladki Punjab ki hai. And I'm thinking, so immediately then I knew, I said, okay, jitne bhi log Punjab ke nahi hai, then that means they are not meant to, we are not meant to be going that side. And then Sangaji, he showed this girl, and she had, I mean, she belongs to very close to Patiala, a place called Surur. Dugri Patiala de ਕੋਲ ਹੀ ਹੈਗੀ, Surur, Ludhiana ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਹੈ, Surur. And her nankas are from there, but her father was in Karnal because he was looking after their ancestral land. So he showed this girl holding my son's hand, and he showed me Age walking in the front, dressed up, very and like a queen, like a mother queen, which obviously meant that I was to go to the next role, that of a mother-in-law. And he also showed my grand, and that which means I was to become a step higher in life. And Sangatji, then he showed this girl and holding my son's hand, and he's telling me, he said, and he had said, "Ladki Punjab ki hai." And it's a beautiful cart that he's driving, white cart, नहीं होती golf cart. गोल्फ कार्ट गुरुजी चला रहे हैं, और एक वो जो गोल्फ कार्ट में पीछे वाली सीट होती है, ऐसे उस पे उन्होंने मेरे को बिठाया हुआ है. एंड ही इज टेलिंग मी, ही सेड, ही आस्क्ड मी, आपको ये नया खिताब कैसा लगा? These were his exact words to me. आपको ये नया खिताब कैसा लगा? I woke up flummoxed. And he had told me लड़की पंजाब की है. So next day this girl would call me every day around 9:30. And she rings me up and I said, बेटे आप कहाँ से हो? She said, मैं करनाल की हूँ. So I thought, अरे ये तो रॉन्ग नंबर है, गुरुजी ने तो मेरे को ये लड़की दिखाई है. एंड ही ऐसा लड़की पंजाब की है, जो इससे पहले जो जब दर्शन दिया था गुरुजी ने, गुरुजी महाराज ने, इन्होंने जब दर्शन दिया था. एंड देन आई आस्क्ड हर, सो आई थॉट इट्स रॉन्ग नंबर. संगत जी, that night when I was going to sleep, so I was talking to him. कहते हैं ना, गुरुजी ने complete total surrender. अपनी बिंदी लगाओ, टिक्का लगाओ, उसमें भी गुरुजी को सोच करके एक टेप लगाओ अपने फिंगर पे, जैसे मैंने आज लगाया है. तो वो भी अगर सही से नहीं लग रहा है तो गुरुजी के साथ बैठ करके लगाओ, तो वो भी अपने आप ही सही लग जाता है. एंड देन आई वाज टॉकिंग टू हिम, आई सेड, गुरुजी आपने कहा लड़की पंजाब की है, और आपने तो मेरे को ये लड़की दिखाई है, और ये लड़की तो करनाल की है. That night he came and he told me, he said, "Edo kolo puch, eda pushtana kitho hai. Edo kolo puch, eda pushtana kitho hai." So I asked her next morning again, her phone came, and I'm asking her, मतलब मेरे घर में तो what I'm saying, Sangat ji, if you do total surrender, Guruji takes care of everything. मतलब like I lost my father, mother, husband, father-in-law, they all went so fast. My brother-in-law, in a fast गए सी, in a span of 3 years. So it's like a पूरा जैसे किला नहीं dissipate हो जाता, like that. And गुरुजी ने से end हाथ पकड़ के, मतलब everything one has to leave to him. Then he will take care of everything. But अगर अपनी अकल ते रफल use करो, then it is a problem. That night he told me, he said, "एदो कोलो पूछ, एदा पुश्ताना किथो है." Next morning her call came. I said, "बेटा आपका पुश्ताना किथो है?" She said, "We belong to a village near Patiala." देखो जी, मतलब from where we Fauji's and from where she, and totally different background, from agricultural background. And what a beautiful family. जय गुरुजी, अनंतम शुक्राना गुरुजी का कि ये लड़की मेरे परिवार में आई. And he blessed me with such a I remember it was 6th of September, when he put in the dream again, he said he put this little baby in my godi, and he said, he said, "Special blessings for your grandma, Ritu Aunty." And this child, she came, and when she came in, she's so cute and she's so devoted to Guruji. And on a like जद गुरु जी का चोला चेंज होता है, I was going to change his chola, and this was a recent happening, and he said, "Nahi, mahi aayegi or dinal karna hai." She will always pick up Guruji's chola together and dress him up together. Guruji ke jitne bacche hain, they are very, very, very attached to him, irrespective of their age. They are totally, his children are very, very amazing. So, different, like for me, har pal, har shwas is only Guruji, Guruji, Guruji. And so, it was like when my mother was to go, he had said that, Ritu Aunty, I will take your mother away on Monday or Tuesday. He had told me this. And this was Friday. Sorry, a Thursday seva de baad jab main kar aayi si, so he told me, I'll take your mother away on Monday or Tuesday. So I called my sisters and I said, why don't you come here and stay? I couldn't tell them because, like in Shiv Puran also we read that, yes, if everybody's, everybody with Guruji, with Shivji, like if people believe in him and then only उनकी गुणगान करना होता है. शिव पुराण में कितने सुंदर तरीके से लिखा है कि शिव जी को जो, so I couldn't tell them कि Guruji has said he will take her away. And it was on Tuesday morning, January 19th, that he came in such beautiful splendor at about 5:45 in the morning, and he said that I want to take your mother away now. And Anantam Shukrana Guruji. And so after that, obviously, like there are always, property issues, these issues, those issues. And it was so beautifully he came and he stood near the dining room in my house, and he told me, he said, Ritu Aunty, the soldiers in this house are very strong. इस घर में आपका कोई कुछ बिगाड़ नहीं सकता. ओम नमः शिवाय, शिव जी सदा सहाय. Om Namah Shivaya, Guruji Sada Sahaya. And as life unfolded, it was, everything kept falling into place so surprisingly that मेरे पास शब्द ही नहीं है. Like today, yesterday, I think Suresh Uncle had said that, Ritu Aunty, we have bought a new flat, penthouse in Noida. So I was listening to him and I was just thinking, I said, Inni seva kar dene. He does it, matlab, it's amazing what he's doing. So I knew that how Guruji blesses because, in this journey, one has seen it. Yes, the surrender, the complete, once, long time back, he gave me darshan and he said, he asked me, he said, Ritu Aunty, what do you want? These were his exact words. What do you want? And I just looked at him. I said, Mainu to pata hi nahi ki what is that time I had just lost everybody. My son was also totally unsettled. We were all so unsettled, so totally, in a complete dilemma. And when he came and he said, what do you want? I couldn't ask him for anything. I looked at him and it was a telepathy talk that we had. And I told him, I said, I don't know what's good for me. I told him, I said, Guruji, I do not know what is good for me. मतलब मैं की पूछा, मेरी तो कोई औकात ही नहीं है. एंड संगत जी, दैट वाज उस मोड़ तो लेके नाउ एज ऑन डेट he has left no void in my life, no void. In every whatever way he takes care totally. Once one of our, and today like our regiment, most of the officers go to Guruji and take his blessings. And so after a couple of years of my husband going, when they called for the AD get together, I said, AD is air defense. So he had, I was thinking, I said, मैं नहीं जाऊंगी. Then that he told me, he said, army di taraf jarur jana hai. And that when I went there, I met one of our officers, old officers, who was in 10 battery with my husband when he had just gone for his regiment tenure in 84, 85 to Jodhpur. This gentleman had just joined in also as a young officer. Colonel Shamsher is his name. So I saw him, he had put on weight and he was standing outside the AD mess, 8 Parade Road, and he was not looking in the pink best of health or anything. So I asked him, I said, what happened? So he said, ma'am, in the Oprakshak duties, he had a 20-foot fall and he's got some nails in his knees and all that stuff. So I just told him, I said, come with me to my Guruji. The Fauji and his old CO's wife, because my husband had commanded during the Golden Jubilee. So immediately he came. I had told him, you come on Thursday. He came in his gypsy. He was posted here. And I was thinking, I said, what will I tell him? He'll think ki ma'am se tyag ye Guru de ja rahi hai ki now that sir is no more. So I was just thinking, I said, what will I tell him? This was 2009. And so देखो गुरुजी कैसे करते हैं. As soon as we entered, we sat in the darbar and we had chai prasad and all. And then as soon as we went out, samne I saw Colonel Joshi. I was very happy. So I looked at Colonel Joshi and I told him, I said, Colonel Joshi, please meet Colonel Shamsher from our regiment and tell him about Guruji. And I had recently lost Ashok, so I was not in a very, mood to talk to people as such. So I introduced these two और मैं जाके थोड़ी दूर जाके पीछे तब ये नया लंगर हॉल वगैरह तो बने नहीं थे. So I went and I just sat a little away looking at the beautiful shivling. And as I was looking at the shivling, I heard Colonel Joshi tell Colonel Shamsher that Guruji फौजियां नाल बड़े खुश होंदे ने and बड़ा bless करदे ने सारे कोलों पहले. He blesses the फौजी the fastest. So I looked at the shivling Sangat ji. And a question arose in my mind. Na te main Colonel Joshi naal gal kiti, na Colonel Shamsher. I just looked at the shivling and I said, Guruji, do you also bless army officers' wives? Do you also bless army officers' widows? मेरे मन में चाहे सवाल उठा. Do you also bless army officers' widows? Sangat ji, that night Guruji showed a beautiful dream. He showed that I'm sitting in the officers' mess in Srinagar. And I'm wearing my husband's kamarband and medals. I'm wearing a white, his wo jo pehante hai na for the formals, that white half sleeve shirt. And I'm wearing olive green capris. And Brigadier Bhalla, he also goes to Guruji now. And General Handa, he also his wife, they've all gotten a lot of blessings from Guruji. And he showed Colonel Shamsher and a couple of other officers sitting in the officers' mess in Srinagar. I get a call at 5:30 in the morning. My time 5:30. And my son was sleeping in my room. And we had lost so many, you know how like an emotional support, both of us were just sleeping together. And he told me, he said, Ma, who's calling you so early in the morning? And I looked at my phone and I saw that time Colonel Bhalla, Srinagar. So I picked up the phone and he said, ma'am, your Baba visited me at 3:30 in the morning and he has asked me to ring you up. I do not know what your question or dilemma is. Imagine, he's saying, I do not know what your question or dilemma is, but your Baba came in the morning at 3:30 in the morning and he has asked me to ring you up and said that the answer is a big yes. तो सोचो मैं तो किसी ਨੂੰ अपना ना सवाल दस पूछया मैं तो सिर्फ शिवजी जी ਨੂੰ लिख के शिवलिंग देखकर सोच रही सी. I was just thinking ना, and like गुरुजी ने तो इस बड़े मंदिर में 12 ज्योतियों की शक्ति डाली है, 12 ज्योतिर्लिंगों की शक्ति है इसमें. So we don't need to go anywhere. It's amazing. And the answer came to me, imagine, from another fellow officer who was in the same regiment when my husband was commanding and now posted in Srinagar, and he's ringing me up and saying, मतलब अनंतम शुक्राना गुरुजी महाराज का, अनंतम शुक्राना। थैंक यू गुरुजी, थैंक यू गुरुजी। एंड साडा जिहड़ा बड़ा मंदिर है ਉਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ पत्ता भी नहीं फटकदा गुरु जी दे इजाजत के बिना। अनंतम शुक्राना गुरु जी का। एंड गुरु जी यूज्ड टू से ना, लाइना लग जाएंगी, which is actually true. From the time when many years back, those of us who've seen when, you know, we used to carry dabbas of samosas and laddus and things like that, and where the coffee table is, we used to sit there, and as on date there are this the amount of lines every Monday, Thursday. Abhi to ye, even if you look at the Sarah yesterday, which we had Tuesday, every single day, it's amazing how Guruji's nephew Gaurav, the way he Gaurav uncle, the way he takes care of Bada Mandir, it is amazing. The discipline, Anantam Shukrana to the complete management team, to Guruji, because Guruji करवांदे ने ते सारे सब कुछ होंदा है. And the prasad that we eat, ओते अमृत है, टोटल अमृत. जेड़ा जल पींदे ने गुरु जी दे दरबार विच, गुरु जी दे मंदिर विच जेड़ा सानू जल मिलदा है, that is अमृत. That is, जैसे शिव पुराण में हम पढ़ते हैं ना, जो शिव जी की औषधि, वो शिव की औषधि है, वो शिव जी की औषधि है. I had got dengue some years back and was admitted in Max Hospital. So the doctors had said that it will take about 10 days for me, 10 days for me to leave the hospital because of the counts and things like that. So I had got quite a bad attack apparently. ਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਦ ਐਡਮਿਟ ਹੋਏ ਸੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਅਗਲੇ ਦਿਨ ਸਵੇਰੇ my son, he also stayed in the hospital with me. And next day when the doctors came, they said, this is the problem, this is the problem, and she will have to stay here for a couple of days. Then that night, Sangat ji, Guruji gave fantastic darshans. He gave Bada Mandir, and jada Shivling hai, 12 jyotiyon di shakti hai utte. Shivling jada हैगा, he gave beautiful, beautiful. पहले he showed her kyo, all sides. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivji Sada Sahai, Om Namah Shivaya, Guruji Sada Sahai. Then the Shivling opens. शिवजी की जटा, शिवजी तो गंगा को जटा में लेते हैं. गुरुजी हैं, गुरुजी तो महादेव हैं, देवों के देव महादेव. एंड जब वो शिवलिंग पूरा ऐसे ओपन होता है, वहां से पूरी गंगा, पूरी नदी बहती है. ऑल दिस गुरुजी शोइंग इन माय ड्रीम. एंड ही इज टेलिंग मी, ही सेड, ऋतु आंटी, अमृत ले ले. सो लाइक दिस, जैसे हम स्कूल में पानी नहीं पीते अपने हाथ जोड़ करके ऐसे, I'm admitted in the hospital and I'm drinking jal prasad and बहुत संगत उधर पी रही है, पूरी ड्रीम में दिखाते हैं. And he's telling me, अमृत पी ले. And then he's saying, थोड़ा पी, पानी खा रहा है. And he's saying, जल ले ले, थोड़ा ले, पानी खा रहा है. So I'm having jal prasad. And next day, when the doctors came around 11 o'clock, they told my son, take your mother home. She will be all right in a day or two. संगत जी, ओम नमः शिवाय. अनंतम शुक्राना गुरुजी महाराज का, अनंतम शुक्राना गुरुजी का. I can never thank him enough. Every single day, every single, what should I say, in my house, every relationship that comes, even the staff that comes into my house is totally, completely monitored by my Guru Maharaj. And मैं ते जिन्ना शुक्र करा ओना काटे. And I'm extremely grateful to Suresh uncle for giving me this seva and telling me to do Guruji's Mahima. And thank you so much. I had told him that uncle मैं शायद आधे घंटे तो ज़्यादा बोल नहीं पाऊंगी. And but now the way I have like the way he's Guruji, because वो तो पल पल ही सिर्फ और सिर्फ गुरुजी दा ही शुक्राना है. So I didn't realize that it's been a full 1 hour, and I'm extremely grateful. शुक्राना गुरुजी, please forgive गुरुजी महाराज, मैं तो बहुत गलतियां की थी महाराज, मैनू पाप बख्श दियो. And जन्मों दी गलतियां होंदियां ने साडी ते. मेहरा वाले महेश्वरा विश्वेश्वरा, thank you so much Tanuj aunty. Thank you Suresh uncle, thank you Tanuj aunty, and thank you Bada Mandir management, Gaurav uncle, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to do Guruji's Mahima. Anantam Shukrana Guruji Maharaj.
Ritu Aunty, you are being so kind and sweet and thanking everybody for this opportunity, whereas I think it's a big blessing from Maharaj, not only for you, for all of us, like you said, dono taraf Guruji di blessings chal diyan. And it really is, we must thank you for sharing such beautiful blessings जो गुरुजी ने आप पर और आपकी फैमिली पर बरसाई हैं. Your gratitude was just overflowing through your words, and as you were visualizing, I can imagine, you were visualizing each dream darshan and Guruji's blessings. So like I said in the beginning, they are also inspiring, because जिस तरह से even your first meeting and your first visit to Empire State, आपने इतना vivid description दिया उस visit का, that I feel that that all of us, of course, who've been there, even the new Sangat, they were transported there. And probably all of us were sitting there in that darbar and imagining how Guruji ने आपको bless किया, आपसे बात की. पहले visit में हर family member का नाम पूछा. And we all know over the years कि जब गुरुजी ऐसा करते थे, he was blessing each one of them. So how fortunate that Guruji blessed your entire family the first meeting itself. परमात्मा बुलाते ही उस वक्त है when you need it the most. And he knew in the years to follow the challenging times that you were to face. And आपका ड्रीम दर्शन इतना सुंदर था, वह जब we all know when such a tragedy hits anybody, हम सब चाहते हैं कि किसी तरह हम मदद करें, सहारा बने. And we always ask, how can I help you? And you see, Maharaj did the same thing, but in his own grand way. And he said, Ritu Aunty, what do you want? In fact, he meant, what all do you want? And then when you said, I don't know what's good for me. So he just took over the reins of your life. That was your surrender moment. And how beautiful it is. And, it is so, I mean, कितने आपके जो dream darshan हैं, they are really goosebumps आते हैं when you listen to them, that how at every step Guru Maharaj has guided you. He has step by step shown you the roadmap, even handpicked your family members, your daughter-in-law, your granddaughter. How very lovely is that? So I think the satsang se itne
Tanuj aunty, sorry, but I need just 30 seconds more.
No,
I have to share this. You
today
talked
is
about my
for you.
granddaughter. So when she
Yeah.
was born, she had very little hair. So one day Guruji showed in that he calls us for Shivji Seva in the morning. And one day he showed that we are doing Shivji Seva at early in the morning. and this that time she was very small, just about 2 years, and she comes like this, jumping like a puppet. She comes jumping to गुरुजी के दो ऐसे राइट साइड में 100 रुपए और एक जो व्हाइट चोले में है ना, there she comes jumping and she's asking Guruji. Imagine a 2-year-old who cannot speak, Tanuj aunty, and she's entering and she's saying, Guruji, mere kesh. Aaj Tanuj aunty, if you look at that child's hair, they are a marvel. अनंतम शुक्राना गुरुजी का, अनंतम शुक्राना. सो गुरुजी के जो बच्चे जो गुरुजी भेजते हैं, दे आर टोटली, आई मीन लाइक, thank you Guruji. Sorry to have barged in, but
No, no,
I had
no,
to share
Ritu.
this. Thank you so much.
No,
Thank you.
absolutely. Because I'm sure अगर गुरुजी ने आपसे ये शेयर कराया है, this must be meant for somebody. And like today, आपको जो लगता है that Guruji has blessed her with a beautiful mane of hair, but I'm sure there is more to it. अगर गुरुजी ने ये ड्रीम दर्शन में ये blessing दी है, so it's not only the thickness of the hair. Because that's too small a thing for Guruji Maharaj to give you a dream darshan for. I'm sure it is much more. And as time unfolds, as the years unfold, Guruji's blessings will be known to you. So,
Thank you.
you said,
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, in the beginning you said that जब आप पहले दिन गए, तो गुरुजी का aura जो था was extraordinary. I think that's an understatement. Absolutely extraordinary, divine, and beyond compare. Because, like आपने कहा कि, he's all rolled into one. Parmeshwar, Sadashiv. So, how is it even possible to describe him and his grace? And before I, take Agya from the Sangat, for me, the highlight of today's this thing was in the beginning when you said कि your Ashok ji said, your husband said कि एक बाबा साइकिल ते आंदे शॉर्ट्स पाके. So I was transported back there and I visualized Guruji with so much love and all smiles because such a कितने प्यारे हैं हमारे गुरुजी. And हर रूप दिखाया है महाराज ने, हर रूप दिखाया है. Like you said, a friend, philosopher, guide. So I will also join you in saying Anantam Shukrana Maharaj, Anantam Shukrana. And may your blessings continue on Ritu Aunty and her family and on all the Sangat. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivji Sada Sahai. Om Namah Shivaya, Guruji Sada Sahai. Thank you so much, Ritu Aunty, on behalf of all of us. And over to you now, Suresh Uncle Ji.
Jai Guruji Maharaj. A divine blissful Sangat sharing by Ritu Aunty. बहुत एक तक सुनते रह गए, आपको बहुत अच्छा लगा. गुरुजी की कृपा हम सब पर बनी रहे. थैंक्स अ लॉट तनुज आंटी. मैं होस्ट से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा, गुरुजी महाराज से आज्ञा लेंगे